So I made a tracing of the prints map, and I used a magnifying glass and spent a couple of hours, maybe 3, translating the script. And what I'm going to read is in the bottom right corner of that map, which corresponds to this ridge. See that right there? That's the ridge we're looking at. What it says is, in this direction, the road to Santa Clara is seen, winding uphill eastward out of the meadow, less than a mile distant to 1.5 miles. So we're going to measure this. Well, the number we get is 0.6 of a mile. Yeah, but that's what it says. That black outline is the creek Mugatsu, and we see a bend, and we see that number 153, which helped us establish the line, the northerly line. But that bend does not exist anywhere in here, and this used to extend easterly, and this used to extend westerly. So this was straighter, came up roughly like this. This used to be 5 feet deep, now it's about 12 feet deep. The prints map indicates a distance of about 75 yards. So we can give 10 yards either way. We've got this line here of 153 yards with a number of 50 yards. So when we draw a line, and we pass through the lower part of those hills, which those hash marks show. So we've got to be good within 30 feet either way. So this is north and this is south. So when we read 274 yards to foot of rocky hill on this line, can't read 3 words, of this round rocky hill is where the Mormons painted themselves as Indians. When I conform that line to anything in here, you don't get a hill. Here's the hill. This is the supposed Indian camp. These are the hills that were being used by the Mormons dressed as Indians. So we have another problem with the map. So this line is roughly 275. See? So it doesn't matter where we swing it, it has to stay in relationship to this line, right? I can only do one line at a time. So this line isn't making sense in relationship to a hill used by Mormons or not. I've tended to ignore the magnetic north and thought this line was indicating the line that would intersect either the men and or women's grave sites. But I can't get this line to do that. It doesn't seem to indicate anything other than magnetic north. This is the new alleged men's site. This is the tree where the rock cairn is out here. This is where I've always understood the men to have been murdered, and right here off screen is where the women were. I've rotated Google Earth. We're looking easterly, just like the immigrants would. And on the map up here, it says a cover of something cut by balls. And so that's right in here. And then over here, and here, it says rocks marked with bullets and some other word in here. In here it says the word rocky, and in here it says pocket of something of stones 220 yards. So I'm going to measure a line from the camp out to 220 yards in here now. I'm getting 300 yards. But if I go back over here where I said rocks marked with bullets, then we get 215 yards. So that's 220 yards. That's what we're assuming that refers to coming back to this camp. And it has to be the northerlymost hill, right? We can make these lines conform, even, I mean, we have problems with this line, but we can still make this conform to the terrain. I can get 220 yards in here. So that's what we're left with. So Prince's map is got correct information, but some wrong numbers, I think. Instead of being 1 mile, this is 6/10 of a mile. This isn't 220 yards, it's about 300 yards. This line running up here appears its only reference. It says magnetic north. We can't make the shape of the creek conform to the map. The map has an error there. So now we come to Josiah Gibbs, our Mormon camp, Abe Spring. There's a spring there. You can see it on Google Earth. Little hill here. This comes off the road, but as I understand it, the main road would come through here, come out this way. And this is that so-called Massacre Hill, which isn't anything. Again, I believe this is what's called the Massacre Hill, and it's that hill that's west of the Mormon camp, which is just over here. And he's showing them walking up this way, which is more or less that path I've outlined that I understand to be the road, main road. But this is labeled Old California Road. So did they come out this way and the men go this way? But it met up here. This is, if the rock cairn that's been discovered is accurate, then it would have to be over here, right? So there's a lot of issues with maps. You know, that's the whole problem. When you get involved with Mormonism, the maps don't make sense, the words don't make sense, the terrain doesn't make sense. You got Nephi Johnson standing on a hill out here somewhere telling Indians to, there are no hills to stand on to yell to anybody. If you're standing out here, from here to here is a 1/4 mile. So they destroyed every shred of evidence of who these people were. So now we're looking at maps, you know, made by well-intended people, prints. There's errors with it. There's problems with it. It can be sorted out, but they're there. Gibbs' map has problems. Mormon stories have problems. John D. Lee's story doesn't make sense. So this map makes everything happen down here. This is right in here is where the Mormon camp is. This hill is the hill that's most westerly from that Mormon camp. But everything took place up here. Okay? So see that little creek right there? This is the same map reproduced in Juanita Brooks' book. So it's the same error. Excuse my scribbles. So this is Bagley's map on page 124, and the scale is off. It's a 1/2 mile, not a mile. He puts the rim of the basin right in here, but it's not. It's up here. This red line I'm trying to make conform to the Prince map. When you measure the numbers, as I've shown here in this video and others, you come out up here, or unless the other side is going to be over here, that's going to surprise me. So my point is, we've got the same errors perpetrated in 3 books, and then we have problems with the Prince map. None of that gets us any closer to the grave sites. We're just dealing with maps.
And I can die when I'm gone.